Monday Sports Podcast. Sports Report brought to you by Tough Man Refresh.
I got 6 from 8 for the footy tipping this weekend, which
very
is
good.
It's the best that I've done this year. And I didn't get to see the paper over the last 2 weeks, but I've got to be coming close to last in the footy tipping comp in the paper. I was definitely not travelling well.
Mum was saying you were battling.
Battling big time, mate.
Battling, mate. Battling.
Who's hurting you? Where do you keep going wrong?
Yeah, who's hurting you?
Who's hurting you?
It's just been one of those seasons that if I
it
jump
hurt you?
left, I should have jumped right.
Right, when you jump right.
I've basically been zigging when I should have been zagging.
And zagging.
And zagging when,
Should have been zigging.
in hindsight, the zig was the way to go.
Would have been the play.
Yeah. But anyway,
Anyway,
back to 6. Back to form.
Back to 6. Footy tipping, just looking at us. I think we would have done about the same. There wasn't many upsets, was there, really?
Well, Penrith got beaten by...
I got 5 somehow.
Penrith got beaten by...
Yeah, so I went
Manly.
I went Penrith.
I missed that one, and I missed the...
I went the Sharks, I went the Dragons.
I went the Sharks, yeah. Yeah, see, I tipped... I got the Roosters.
Right.
I was actually testing with Buzz.
I can't get over round 1. I said, well, the Roosters will barely win a game this year, and they can't make the 8, so I still can't tip them. So I go against Roosters almost every week, which is antiquated now, but I just still remember them getting pumped.
Yeah.
Who pumped them? Oh, Bronx.
Bronx round 1, yeah.
That game, I thought these guys are freaking hopeless.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And the Warriors are in the top 4.
Yeah.
They've gone about their business pretty quietly.
They'll win most games at home, I reckon. If they can just get as many games at home, just W's there, that's how they'll set up their season this year.
They were playing in Christchurch on the weekend.
Yeah. Well, they beat us over at Eden Park, so... I mean, they are massive over there. The way that Super Rugby's sort of gone down, the Wars are incredible. Like, that phenomenon has taken over New Zealand, and the country's behind them now.
Yeah, that's
I did actually
So that's why they're moving more and more games around.
Yeah,
because the demand is there.
I noticed a lot of people wearing Warriors jerseys over there.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, and it was strong anyway, but it was sort of isolated.
Yeah, because it just was Auckland originally.
Like, I'd never seen anything like that day when I think we went to get some... Oh, were you there? I was on a trip to Mount Smart Stadium. I might have been with Nova or... No, I think you were there. We were. You were there. I went to get some chips and a beer from the bloody thing, and we were on the footy show, I think, at the time. And they played the footy show because it's too late New Zealand time on the Thursday, which was when it was. It was prime time on a Friday night, like 7 p.m. I was like, I got back with my beer and chips and said, Ash, we're going to move here. Like, I was signing autographs. It was like nuts. Like nothing like anything I've ever experienced in Australia.
Yeah.
Like, and but that was only in Auckland. But now I think that there's a genuine claim for a second team on the other island.
Do you think that's
Christchurch? Is that Christchurch the other island, or where is it?
Yeah, Christchurch is
Christchurch,
South Island.
Yeah.
Do
Anyway.
you know the most exciting potential new team that I've heard? And when I say this, you'll go, oh, you guys are cracking jokes, but then wait till you hear the logic behind it. And it was
the Ferny Grove Foreskins.
It was it's that journalist Michael
I got the chop.
Chamis.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the job. Sorry.
That the new expansion club should be in Honolulu.
I
Hawaii,
heard this,
Hawaii.
and I don't mind that. I don't
How?
mind that.
Explain it to me. How's it
Okay.
work?
First of all, you've got a huge Polynesian base in Honolulu, in Hawaii, not just Honolulu, in Hawaii. Huge Polynesians base over there.
Yep.
Hawaii does not have a professional football team. They've got a college. They've got a
which
college.
goes nuts. I've been in Honolulu when the college teams played and against USC or whatever. Crazy, it goes nuts.
They've got a college football team, which is getting a brand new stadium, which finishes next year.
Where?
In just
Honolulu.
in Honolulu, like back in
Near
Waikiki there.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
So time wise, it works out absolutely perfect.
Guess who the chairman of the Honolulu Hulas would be?
Who?
Lou.
Barack Obama. Born there. Went to uni there at least.
Yeah.
Check the birth certificate.
Yep. He was born in the hospital. I know that because I've done a tour or whatever.
You could set up academies through all the schools coming through in Hawaii.
The Landies would love this.
You get the America. You get a whole of America behind you.
Lutsy, all of that America corporate.
It'll become a weekend trip.
It's a footprint into. And you tell me when your team is playing against Hawaii that you're not going. Oh, Bronx are playing. Bronx are playing in Honolulu this weekend. I mean, we're going.
Hand in the air because I just do care.
Going.
Hand in the air because I just do care.
Yeah.
The commute thing would be an issue, yay or nay?
It's a 9-hour travel, but what you do is you do it in 3-week blocks. So a team that plays in Hawaii gets the bye the next week. Okay.
If logistically that works.
So you'd have 3 weeks in Hawaii, and then they'd come on the road and they'd come down to Australia for 3 weeks and play 3 away games. You could easily do it, and it would be the only professional football team in the whole of Hawaii. You get all all that US money backing coming into it.
Nick, have you supportive of this?
Yeah, I like it. One, because just it makes, for me, it makes more sense than North Sydney Bears. Like, I like this more. The money thing I know that Volandis is going for, and the more that they've kind of pushed for a Pacifica kind of team, I think that would start, like, if you brand it, yes, maybe Hawaii, more of a kind of like what they did in the Union, like a Pacifica style team, that might have more of a draw, and maybe you could possibly start looking to playing games through your Samoas, through Tongas. You could build.
It's exciting. I've got no excitement for the North Sydney Bears in Perth, whatever the hell. No,
it gets me excited. Yeah, for the growth of the game, I go, now we're thinking.
Yeah.
And
yes,
it makes
time-wise, it all works out.
And who's is this an actual genuine thing or?
Well, Michael Chamis, he came up with the idea, and he's floated it by Pete Volandis. Okay, Volandis is going to have some type of look at it.
Wow.
But I think that's what it is. That's the most exciting option that I've heard. Like you compare that to a second team in New Zealand. Or you're right, the one in Perth. You go, mate, you go and put a team in Honolulu, in Hawaii, everyone's going to want to go. Like, imagine playing there. Imagine being a professional football player. Here's your options. The Raiders have come up. The Raiders have come up with it. Raiders have offered you 2 years, Lutsy. You can play that, or you can go and play in Honolulu.
So Parramatta.
Well, Moresby's going to be I reckon that they will be. Knocking down the door as players to get to Moresby, because if you go and play in Port Moresby,
tax free?
It's tax free.
So you're living in a compound.
All these players now are on the top players. Your marquee players are now roughly getting $1.5 million a year, right? Imagine getting that in your pocket. $1.5 million. Like, Lutsy, it's tax free.
And when you look at it, you're back in Australia
every second week.
So out of 24 weeks, whatever it is,
and not only that,
half the year.
What they'll do is they'll build a huge compound over there. Right?
You'll live like a king. You won't spend a cent.
It'll be like a gated community, and you'll have nothing to do but focus on your footy.
And impossible to spend money.
And that's who it's good for. Your second chance saloon players, like your Tavita Payne guys and stuff, who have to step away from the game, or they need a second chance back in, where they just go, you know what, I need a block where
I'm just
football is
go
going to be the
over
only
there
thing I can do in my career.
Yep.
This is my chance.
The same as COVID. You know, it'd be like being in what it was like at COVID, where it's like, okay, you're just going to go there now, and you got nothing to do but just focus on your footy.
And plus, over there, it's the land that time forgot. So to make the papers over there, you got to kill several people. I think it's like, oh no, Gary Siwa killed someone on the weekend. So the ref. I think one of the ball kids murdered someone. It doesn't matter. So there's no bad news coming out of there. I mean, it's a good, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Remember, can I tell you, when we did Kokoda, we had this the head guide. What do they call him? They called him like Sherpas. The guy that carried the bag.
Yeah.
What do they call that name from? Whatever.
Like a shirt.
I forgot. It wasn't a shirt. I've forgotten. No, apologies for being
Porters
cultural.
Let's go Porter for a safe word.
It's Porters. The head porter was a guy called Killer. because they all had their names. Like, there was a guy called Aerosmith. They were named after 80s rock bands. Those were actual names.
So good.
And Killer, it was a great guy, but stupidly we tried. Oh, we should get some social media Killer so we can stay in touch. So we set up his Facebook account on his mobile. So when he was in Moresby, he could get some reception. And we'd fly him back to Brisbane. And literally, as we landed, we'll just check and see if Killer's put his first Facebook post up. Yeah, he'd put a photo up, dead man in gutter.
Yep.
Just someone had been murdered by a meat cleaver.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that's where cultures should just stay apart.
My old housemate.
In fairness, it got 10 likes.
All I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's something else. Anyway.
Yeah.
And
And anyway.
and the old beetle nut. Remember that?
Yeah.
What about that? Holy shit. You'd say me to that if you were living over there, Ash.
Oh my god!
Your teeth would be
Can you imagine? Did you see Wayne
Be
Bennett's
Nova
tooth
red,
fell?
yeah.
No.
Did you see Wayne Bennett's tooth fell out?
Is that just old age?
He didn't go to the He didn't go to the
Dentist?
press.
That's probably why.
He didn't go to the press conference because his tooth fell out. For real, like his front tooth.
Classic Bennett mind games.
Like that's-
Wayne Bennett would rather pull his tooth out than go to
Yeah,
a press
yeah.
conference.
Yeah, decoy.
That must be one of those things that happens when you start getting old, eh?
Well, his front tooth fell
His
out.
front
yeah.
tooth fell out. Like, how the does that happen? Your front tooth just falls out.
That's not
And it's
good.
just like
It's not even a
if
gritty-
that happened to me, that'd be so traumatic.
Yeah.
Like,
What happens
Sitting
in
here on the
dreams?
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so yeah, my front tooth fell out.
And so, just away from league, Lockie, you come into the next season of Welcome to Wrexham is going to be pretty great as well because the
So what are they done?
Explain it.
So for the first time in
You on?
almost 150
Oh, there. Sorry,
years,
Yep.
they have achieved back-to-back-to-back promotion from the fifth tier of English football now to the second tier of English football next season. So the
Well, that's
championship.
Championship.
Yeah.
That's
So they
never
went
happened
from
ever.
Division
It
5,
hasn't happened since
and in
150
1 year,
years.
straight up to Division 4.
Yep. 1 year straight up to Division 3. The next year, which will be next year, Division 2.
So this is like obviously it's it's the two Robs, and this isn't just Ryan and Rob. This isn't just money though, is it?
No,
like,
no,
you
no,
can't
no,
just you can't just buy your way.
No.
out.
That's the point.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
is it oh my god, this is fantastic, or is it
So
you bought out?
there's a little bit. They are not the richest owners in
Okay,
the
that's a
the
good
league.
point. Like,
What
Man
they've
U's
just
like,
done is they have been so smart off the field to make almost every single business decision they've made. They've done it successfully. So there's a lot of people who kind of hate the fact that Rob and Ryan have come in because they represent maybe the fact that their owners suck for the clubs that they support. And Rob and Ryan have identified a struggling club, that's been around since like 1860 something, 1864, as old as Wrexham is, and they've gone, this is a struggling club that we want to see restored to its former glory. They appoint the best people to bring about change. They're upgrading the stadium. All the supporters love Ryan and Rob for what they've done because they haven't taken something and totally removed its identity. They've gone, no, we respect this club so much.
How much did they buy for? Do you know?
I'd have to.
It's only like a couple of million.
Yeah, it was
wasn't
only
Yeah.
a couple of
Three was
million.
in my mind, but
It wasn't anything outrageous, but they basically just have appointed the correct people behind the scenes to make the changes they want to see. They have, it has to be said that.
Sorry, just a quick Google says friends, business partners, fellow actors Reynolds and McElhenney brought Wrexham AFC for $2.5 million back in 2020.
Yeah,
What's it worth now?
way more than that. A championship sides, you've got players that are worth $2.5 million. So,
Wow.
and
Estimated approximately $100 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's what it like.
But that's-
Reynolds has done that with so many businesses. People look at him as a personality, whatever. All the stuff that's been going on the last 6 months. But he come with aviation gin, and sent that skyrocketed that. Puts it in his movies and stuff. His characters drink it, and
it's helped that his brands have sponsored the club too. So that's
Mint Mobile.
Yeah.
He raised
Yeah,
that up
that's
in the
right.
States. He just sort of raises these things up, sells these shares, and he's a billionaire. And
yeah.
So that the Hollywood effect, TikTok came on board as a
Yeah.
sponsor with them. But if you're like Ash Bradnam and you're running around, in another league, let's say French league or something and do you want to go to that club?
Yeah.
Because you think your value is going to increase as part of it, or is it just for the Disneyfication, for the glamour, or is it this is now a legitimate side that hypothetically could be in the Premier League, the greatest league in the world, in a couple of years' time.
They look. I don't know whether we will see them in the Premier League just yet. I think it's going to take them, to be honest, a couple of years to get there. Only because the gap between the champion. Some say that the Championship is the toughest competition in the world because it's 24 teams.
The Q Cup.
There's 24 teams that battle it out.
This is Division 2. This is
Division
what they've
2.
just made. 24 teams, yeah.
Some people prefer playing in the Championship because they enjoy it. They don't have the technology, like the VAR, the video assistant ref. They don't have that in the Championship. So there's almost like football purists almost love the Championship more than the Premier League. The Premier League obviously has way more money at play. So for Rob and Ryan, they'll want to see Wrexham get to the Prem. I imagine, though, it might take them a little while to get there just because the Championship is so competitive.
What do you have to do to get there?
You have to be in the top 2 teams, and then teams 3 to 6, they have a playoff. So 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. The winner of those games goes to a playoff final, and the winner of that game.
So 3 teams go up.
3 teams go up.
The top 2, and then the winner of the...
And then the winner of the playoff. And then
3 drop out?
And then 3 of them Premier League will drop out.
And that's that richest game in football, which we'll see in probably, a month and a bit's time?
Yeah. So there's still another 1 or 2 games left in the Championship to play.
Okay.
Wrexham obviously got the result early enough. They'd won enough games early enough to say that they're promoted. They weren't the winners of League One. I can't remember who that was, but they'll be the second team promoted.
Wrexham, prior to all this, what was their highest ever league?
Oh, I'm not a Wrexham expert, but it would be. It would be. They have been. They have been further up.
What else?
And
is
a Wrexham.
Have they been in the Prem League before?
I believe so.
I'm a Rex addict.
Yeah.
What?
Anorexia.
Do they have
Come on, buddy.
effect?
Wow, it's a real problem.
It is for a sub-editor of a newspaper, though. It's exciting stuff.
It is. It is.
Anorexic, you get a start.
That's an amazing.
It's a great story. It's one of the most exciting stories.
Exciting. Sorry, we're done with that. No, we passed.
No. If you find
it there,
take it.
Yeah.
It's one of the most exciting stories I think in world sport at the moment.
So that I guess
interesting.
As it's going to be a year, or do you reckon they really fast track production on that? Because all of us now straight away you go, I want to see that document. I want to see the doco. Yeah.
How many series in a week, bloke? I've only watched the first series.
They've had 3 out, I think.
I'm going to shove your White Lotus. I'm going back to that.
Yeah.
What binge series 2 of that this year.
It's just interesting to see what goes on behind the scenes at a club. And one of the unspoken heroes is I want to say his name's Murray or Humphrey. I think Humphrey is actually his name.
Great.
But basically, he was a writer on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And he just loved. There's a game called Football Manager.
Oh yeah, and he was in series 1. I remember.
Yeah. And basically, they kind of were like, "Hey, Humphrey, what do you reckon? We kind of want to buy a club. This seems interesting." And he was the guy who kind of really put them onto it.
Off a computer game.
Off a computer game. And what makes it more interesting is that he has an official role within the club.
What is he? I'm sure he's like the CEO or something.
He's like a director. He's one of these director of operations type roles, but he recognizes that he doesn't know everything.
Recognizes. Yeah.
And so he's built a team around him that guys from Liverpool. So Liverpool have just won the Prem. They had a director of football operations that Wrexham have now signed.
And you said it's fascinating to see the inner workings of a club, and it kind of is, but it's also just the reason I'm going to watch it is because they've had success.
Yeah.
So you don't watch it it's that Sunderland till I die.
Yeah.
I'd rather die than watch another episode.
That was depressing.
It was depressing, week in, week out. It was like watching EastEnders, worse. Honestly. So the fact that you know they're going that way.
Yeah.
Is upwards. I'm doing is I'm going to watch it. They were dud. Who wants to watch a bunch of losers?
No,
but they're not.
They're not. They're winners.
So if this is going to be the 4th series, so literally in each series they're
getting promoted.
Come on.
Promoted.
How could you? How could they on any level have started doing that?
Big Disney's
TV
onto them.
Series.
Well, that's also part of the craziness of the entire thing was that Ryan and Rob were like, we think there's enough that's interesting about the running of a football club that we're just going to make a documentary series and we'll document it and see where it goes.
And I think
that gave them the initial cash injection that they needed to make a bunch of these improvements.
Plus, he also, when you say Mint Mobile, the only reason I know that exists is because they shot that ad with the players in the dressing room for Mint Mobile. So he thought, hang on, I can also cross-promote my other things, use it. It's
massive
actually
marketing.
Sheer genius when you think about it.
I just looking. Season 4 is about to start May 16th. We will see the first 2 episodes of like their road towards, as it's described, trying to win promotion to the championship. So, like, they've obviously been filming it along the way. Like, and it just got renewed for its new season the other day. Like, before they'd even done that. Yeah. So
I think that if you were sitting there and you're whoever's the decision maker behind this,
you're mad. Yeah.
You're going, hey, there's a strong chance they get promoted to the championship, and even still, there's something exciting in a playoff.
It'd be such a cheap show to make. Like, you just, a little doco crew getting around and...
Yeah.
You've got access to that much extra footage as well anyway. So, I can't wait to see you two go into sports ownership.
You too.
Well, that too. I mean, if you want to make that happen.
But
You two,
no,
I mean, sorry, Ashley, Ashley and David there. I'd love to see you guys when you walk away from this, head over to the Ferny Grove Falcons and try and... Falcons and say Foreskins, try and bring them up.
The Gympie Gonads.
The Gympie Gonads to all the way to the Q Cup.
And Tino Fostomalawi will be the initial
yes.
First signing.
Captain coach.
Captain coach,
We'll bring Captain Coach back.